Now this is a drag car. It's not a show car. It's not going to win any awards for paint, but it's a drag car built mimicking the 60s. You know, it's a beater. Basically, it's made to take a beat at the drag strip. Basically, what it was for.
Hey guys, and welcome to Riggs Garage. I like talking to people about their car builds, so this is another Riggs Garage feature video. It features my neighbor Mike's 1955 Chevy Handyman station wagon. So that's a two-door station wagon, and it is not a Nomad. The first time I saw this car, I saw it at a distance, and I snapped a picture of it, and it was actually posted to Instagram probably about a year ago. I knew it was coming out of my neighborhood, but I couldn't identify where, and I finally saw it at a local car meet. Mike had pulled the car in there, so I talked to him there and asked if I could shoot some video of the car. That's what this video is. If you like this video, hit that like button and subscribe to the Riggs Garage channel. I appreciate everybody watching, and here we go.
This is 1955 Chevrolet I purchased about 6 years ago. Purchased it from a guy named Rick Hackathorn in Oklahoma City. He was actually at a drag strip when I bought it, but before that I had seen the car on eBay, I believe it was, for sale. And Rick says, hey, if you want to see the car closer, come to the drag strip one day down at Mocan drag strip. So I did. I went down there and saw it, and I pretty much bought it as soon as I saw it. But it wasn't street legal, so I had to get lights on it. That's pretty much all I really did. I just drove it on the street with just the lights on it and got a license for it. Has a title and so forth. I had a 427 in it when I bought it. It ran really good. It ran like 11 seconds and a quarter down there at Mocan. When I got it home, I played around with it, some car cruises and so forth in Kansas City. Then one night my wife and I took it to a cruise a little further away than I wanted to be. But anyway, we came back with it in the middle of the night, dropped a valve in the 427. Then I went ahead and decided, if I'm going to go all out on a motor, I'm going to get a 540. It's what I ended up getting for it. Building it with scat internals. Icon pistons, 13-to-1. Had the heads gone through, of course. It probably is in the neighborhood of 650 to 700 horsepower. Oh, it had Dominator for racing on it when I bought it, but it wasn't really street friendly as like I'd like it to have been. So I put a 4150 850 CFM carburetor on it, 660 lift, Lunati cam, and duration about 270 duration. on intake and exhaust.
That explains some of the really good noises we heard on the way here.
Yeah, exactly. Big, huge radiator with a cooling fan helps it stay around. Still runs pretty hot. For big blocks always run a little bit hotter than small blocks do. This runs about 200 degrees, so I'm kind of used to it now. It didn't have this valance on here when I first got the car. Yeah, I'm a 60s person, and I like the look of having this valance on here with the no bumper. I like that look, so that's what I went back to. Has disc brakes on it, of course, and a drop spin axle under it. I believe the axle is out of a 54 Chevy pickup truck. I used to have metric tires on this thing, and it did not handle like I would like it to on the street, especially. So I did some research, and a lot of the guys that run gassers, especially from the 60s, they got these bi-ply tires that are fairly tall, but they handle so nice on a gasser compared to my metric tire does. So I changed that over. These are, I can't remember the name of it, I think it's ET wheels, and I did a coating on them that made them look like a magnesium wheel, even though they're not, but they look magnesium.
Looks great.
Fender well headers, I don't know the manufacturer on them, but you know, they're mufflered, and you can run open exhaust as well.
And where does the exhaust dump if you cap it?
Past the door, it goes into some Flowmaster 40 series mufflers. Back wheels were specially made for the car, according to Rick. The car has truck tubs, pickup truck tubs in it.
Oh, really?
To handle a bigger tire, yeah. And these tires, everybody will ask you about these pie cut tires. Pie cut tires are what everybody ran in the 60s. They're hard to find. You can buy them on Summit or something. You'll pay a fortune, but there's a company in, I think it's North Carolina, called Towel City, T-W-O-E-L. Yeah, Towel City. And you can get these slicks so much cheaper than you can if anybody else. Did
you paint the car, or did it come painted like this?
It was painted like this. I repainted good portions of it because I didn't like some of the bodywork on the front. Now, this is a drag car. It's not a show car. It's not going to win any awards for paint, but it's a drag car built mimicking the 60s era. So it doesn't have a big shine to it. Guess what that would have looked like back in the 60s? They didn't have base coat, clear coat. Lacquer paint's what you would have seen on everything.
Yeah.
So I was kind of glad it's not that high polished stuff, and you know, it's a beater basically. It's made to take a beating at the drag strips. Basically, what it was for. Interior wise, it's got I've calmed it down a bit. It used to have racing seats in it and a lot more aggressive roll cage in it, which I chopped it down so I could actually get in it better. It's better for cruising if you don't have to climb over a big old bar around the seat. And Rick had fabricated all that on the shifter and everything. I didn't do any of that. He did all that. Rick didn't have any interior in it. He just had a roll cage. Well, you'll notice there's no carpet in or anything. But he didn't even have door panels. Didn't even have a headliner in at the time. He had the tack here at one point. I put it up there. Here again, because of the 60s thing I've got in my head.
Who did the pinstriping?
A guy by the name of Nico Lynn. Look up Nico Lynn if you like pinstriping. He's in Lee Summit. He does a beautiful job. He did my DG down here too on the body.
And what does the DG stand for?
Well, that's a drag
gas
racing term. Yeah, gas, and the D is the category of the gas. Actually, a D would have been a smaller cubic inch engine than I have in here now. But this car already had that designator on it when I got it, so I decided to leave it. Now it would be more of an AG car with the size co-motor it has in it.
So as a handyman, this is different than a Nomad, right? So the trim is...
A Nomad would have a large fender well, and it would have had a different angle here for the pillar, and also on the back tailgate it would have had ribs going down the tailgate. So that would have been a Nomad.
So the Nomad's a fancier, like family car or almost sporty wagon,
It's a
right?
sporty wagon. That's
Yeah.
what it really would have been. This is the guy that was a painter, or he was a bricklayer, or he was handyman wagon. That's what it meant. A guy who had a trade, and he kept his trade in the back here and went to job to job.
Yeah. So did they come with a metal floor? You can slide a ladder in, buckets of
There
paint.
were metal floors, yeah. Now, actually, there would have been a back seat in this car. The rear end is a Dana. It's a 411 gear rear end. It's all ladder barred out. And the top portion lifts up, and it locks. And that's pretty much what I use when we go to car shows or cruise events to put our tent in or put our chairs in or whatever.
Fuel access?
This is the fuel access for the fuel cell, 10 gallons.
How long does the 10 gallons last you?
About half an hour. No. My main go-to fuel is aviation fuel. I buy it and lease some at the airport.
Okay.
It's cheaper than race fuel, but more expensive than street fuel, obviously. But it's got the octane that this car needs.
What octane are?
It's listed at 100 octane, low lead. But
Cool.
everything I read says it's really about 105.
Have you ever taken it down the track?
I have not personally. It's too easy to break things just on the street, much less take it down the track.
Yeah.
Things get expensive quick when you start hammering on too much.
Yeah. So you're probably not going to take it to the strip?
I probably will not. It's just a stoplight to stoplight car. Rick would race this at Mocan down in Oklahoma, Missouri border, and he kept breaking this glass when he would race. The torque would break this glass. So that's another reason I don't think I want to get it on the track, because those glasses are not easy to find.
No.
And he's replaced it 2 or 3 times.